Hello, welcome to another edition of Premium Times Weekly Podcast. I am Titilope Fadari. Former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo is back in the news again this week. He came back with a country-shaking letter he addressed to young Nigerians. No wonder he's called the letterman. Mr. Obasanjo endorsed Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, as his preferred choice for president in the next month's election. The former president said none of the 18 candidates contesting for president is a saint, but when one compares their character and antecedent, Obasanjo believes Peter Obi has an edge. The Obedients are so excited about the development. But the ruling party, the APC, said Obasanjo's endorsement is worthless. After all, he supported his former deputy, Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, against incumbent President Muhammadu Buhari in the 2019 election, and Mr. Buhari defeated Atiku in that election. Mr. Obasanjo also attacked President Buhari in his letter when he said the last 7 years under Mr. Buhari has been hell on earth for Nigerians. Even some Nigerians abroad say they are feeling the heat. We have moved from frying pan to fire and from mountain top to the valley, Obasanjo said. But the president, through his mouthpiece, Garba Shehu, said Obasanjo is frustrated that Buhari is ahead of him in all fields of national development. That's something Nigerians should decide. As the week drew to a close, the federal government sacked over 500 illegal staff of the Ministry of Labour and Employment. They were said to have been employed into the ministry weeks before the 2019 general elections, no thanks to the job racketeering scandal in the ministries and government agencies. Those in the know mentioned that the 500 persons were employed without a waiver from the office of the head of the civil service of the Federation. And lastly, ASUU President Professor Emmanuel Shodoke said the military government era in Nigeria was more sympathetic to the plight of lecturers than the current civilian administration. Mr. Shodoke said the democratic leaders have not been firm in keeping promises. He called on Nigerians to increase pressure on the government to save tertiary education from collapse. Last year, the lecturers were on strike for 8 months, and Nigerians are still not sure if there would be another strike this year. As always, this edition was written by Kabir Yusuf and Titilope Fadari. See you next week, and do not forget, if you like this podcast, please share and favorite, and also visit www.premiumtimesng.com to catch the latest edition of this podcast series.